Logan Hayes had always been the quiet observer. Growing up in the small Oregon town of Pinewood, he had learned early to keep his thoughts to himself, to watch and wait. But Mia Thompson had changed everything. From their childhood days playing in the woods behind their houses to late afternoons in high school classrooms, Logan's feelings for her had only grown stronger. Mia was bright, confident, and effortlessly captivating. Her laughter could light up a room, and her curiosity about the world drew people in. Yet her heart had been captured by someone else, Jake Parker, the charismatic, outgoing young man from across town. He had charm, confidence, and the easy ability to make Mia's eyes sparkle. For years, Logan watched from a distance. At first, it was innocent, just childhood companionship turning into an unspoken longing. But as Mia and Jake grew closer, his admiration became painful. Every smile she gave Jake felt like a dagger, yet Logan couldn't bring himself to confront her. He followed her life quietly, attending the same town events, community fairs, and occasional coffee meetups, always hoping, always waiting. Logan's world was filled with parallel realities, one in which Mia looked at him the way she looked at Jake, and one in which he remained invisible, quietly watching. The tension escalated during the annual Pinewood Harvest Festival. Mia and Jake were inseparable, laughing and sharing inside jokes, while Logan wandered the crowded fairgrounds, heart heavy, eyes flicking to them repeatedly. He felt both joy and heartbreak. Joy for Mia's happiness, heartbreak that it wasn't with him. At night, Logan would sit by his bedroom window, notebook in hand, sketching scenes of Mia and Jake, writing down feelings he couldn't voice. His parents noticed his quiet melancholy, but didn't fully understand the depth of his attachment. Friends tried to encourage him to move on, but Logan couldn't. Each encounter, each sighting, deepened his obsession. It wasn't malicious, not yet, but the lines were beginning to blur. He rationalized his actions. If I can't be with her now, maybe one day she'll see me differently. Maybe she'll realize what she's missing. But deep down, he also felt an ache of jealousy he could not suppress. One crisp autumn evening, Mia and Jake were at Pinewood's local coffee shop. Logan entered quietly, pretending to browse the shelves, yet his eyes never left them. He watched as Jake reached across the table, touching Mia's hand, making her laugh. Logan's chest tightened. He felt a surge of something unfamiliar, something darker than longing. Mia caught sight of him out of the corner of her eye. She smiled politely, a small acknowledgement, but it was enough to ignite hope in Logan's heart. Maybe she notices me, he thought. But she turned back to Jake, and the spark of his hope dimmed instantly. The chapter closes with Logan walking home under the dim glow of streetlights, leaves crunching underfoot. He was caught between admiration, obsession, and the gnawing desire to act. The stage was set for the coming storm, the point where quiet longing would transform into action, and where the consequences of unspoken emotions would begin to unfold. Logan's obsession, carefully hidden for years, was on the brink of becoming unstoppable. The peaceful town of Pinewood, the winding paths through the pines, and the familiar streets would soon witness the collision of desire, jealousy, and the inevitable choices that follow unchecked emotion. The days following the Pinewood Harvest Festival were heavy with tension for Logan Hayes. Every time he saw Mia and Jake together, his chest tightened and the ache of unrequited love gnawed at him relentlessly. He began spending more time wandering the quiet pine trails, observing Mia from a distance, noting every smile, every laugh, every glance she shared with Jake. At first, his actions were subtle, showing up at places he knew Mia would be, pretending to stumble upon her by coincidence. But soon, the obsession began to take over. Logan found himself rehearsing confrontations in his head, imagining what he might say, what he might do to make Mia notice him, to make her see that he was the one she should have chosen. One chilly evening, Logan spotted Mia leaving the local bookstore, Jake at her side. The glow of the street lamps cast long shadows as the couple walked, completely unaware of the intensity of the eyes watching them. Logan's heart pounded, emotions spiraling into frustration and desperation. He approached them cautiously, his voice shaking slightly. Mia, can we talk for a minute? Mia turned, her expression a mixture of surprise and concern. Logan, now isn't a good time. I'm with Jake, she replied, her tone firm but gentle. Jake stepped slightly in front of Mia, protective. Is there a problem here? He asked, a hint of suspicion in his voice. Logan swallowed hard, fighting the tide of jealousy and longing. I just need you to understand. I've loved you for years, Mia, he muttered. I can't stand to watch you with anyone else. Mia's eyes widened, fear and disbelief flashing across her face. Logan, I care about you as a friend, but you can't control who I love. The confrontation escalated quickly. Logan's emotions, pent up and uncontrolled, erupted in ways he hadn't expected. He lunged toward Jake, desperate to assert control, and a brief scuffle ensued. Mia screamed, trying to push him away, her voice echoing through the empty streets. Before long, Logan realized the situation had crossed a line. Panic and fear gripped him as he glanced at Mia, then at Jake. In a sudden moment of irrational thinking, Logan pulled Mia aside, insisting that they leave immediately. You need to come with me, he said, voice tight with desperation. We'll be safe. I'll keep you safe. Mia struggled, her hands flailing. No, Logan. This isn't safe. You're scaring me, she yelled. But Logan's obsession had clouded his judgment. He led her toward his small cabin on the outskirts of Pinewood, a place he had been preparing in secret as a hideaway. The night was tense and quiet, broken only by the distant howl of wolves and the rustle of pine needles underfoot. Inside the cabin, Mia remained defiant, her eyes sharp with resolve. Logan, this isn't love. This is dangerous. You need help, she said, trying to appeal to the rational part of him. But Logan's mind was already consumed by obsession. Each word Mia spoke, each plea, seemed only to strengthen his conviction that she belonged with him and no one else. The forest outside was dark and foreboding, and the walls of the cabin felt like the boundaries of his spiraling emotions, a physical manifestation of the obsession that now controlled him. Meanwhile, in Pinewood, Jake had discovered Mia was missing. Panic set in, and he immediately alerted her family and local authorities. The search began quietly at first, neighbors and friends combing the nearby woods and streets, and soon the entire small town was aware that something serious had happened. Inside the cabin, Mia's courage did not waver. She observed Logan carefully, memorizing the layout, noting escape routes, and considering every possible strategy to reclaim her freedom. The tension between captor and captive grew with each passing hour, a silent battle of wits and willpower. The chapter closes with Logan pacing the cabin, unaware that Mia is silently planning her escape. His obsession has reached a dangerous peak, but Mia's resourcefulness and determination hint at the coming turn of events. The forest, once a place of childhood adventure, now serves as the backdrop for a high-stakes struggle where courage, intelligence, and survival instincts will clash with unchecked obsession. The forest cabin, once Logan Hayes' secret refuge, now felt more like a trap than a sanctuary. Mia Thompson had spent hours carefully observing every corner, every exit, and every possible way to reclaim her freedom. Her fear had sharpened into clarity, and she knew that survival depended on patience, courage, and quick thinking. One night, while Logan was asleep, Mia quietly searched the cabin. She found a small, hidden mobile phone, some tools, and a window that could be pried open. With careful precision, she prepared for her escape, knowing every second counted. Outside, the pine forest was silent, the moonlight casting long, eerie shadows. Mia slipped through the window, treading lightly on the forest floor, every movement calculated. The cold night air bit at her skin, but adrenaline carried her forward. Meanwhile, Pinewood authorities had mobilized following Jake's alert and Logan's increasingly erratic behavior. Officers combed the woods, setting up search patterns and checkpoints. Word had spread through the town, neighbors reporting any unusual activity, and the urgency of the situation escalated. Mia ran through the dense pines, guided by her intimate knowledge of the forest trails. Hours of careful observation paid off as she avoided the main paths, circumvented natural obstacles, and reached a quiet road where a police cruiser awaited. Relief flooded her, but she remained cautious, knowing Logan's obsession had pushed him to unpredictable extremes. The authorities quickly apprehended Logan near the cabin. His panic was evident. The careful plans he had constructed over weeks crumbled in minutes. Confronted by law enforcement, Logan realized the weight of his actions: kidnapping, confrontation, and endangering Mia's life. Mia was reunited with her family, their embrace filled with tears of relief and gratitude. The small town of Pinewood exhaled collectively, relieved that the ordeal was over, but forever marked by the tension and danger that had unfolded within their quiet streets. In court, the full story emerged. Witnesses recounted Logan's obsessive behavior, Mia's courageous actions, and the events that had transpired at the cabin. Forensic evidence corroborated Mia's account, painting a clear picture of Logan's dangerous obsession and the threat he had posed. The judge, solemn and attentive, emphasized the gravity of Logan's crimes. He received a sentence reflecting both the risk he posed to Mia and the necessity for justice. Logan's fate served as a stark reminder that unchecked obsession can escalate into dangerous actions, carrying severe consequences. Mia began the slow journey of emotional recovery. Therapy, supportive friends, and the unwavering presence of her family helped her regain a sense of safety. She returned to her daily life with renewed determination, speaking out about the importance of consent, boundaries, and vigilance in the face of obsession. The town of Pinewood also changed. Awareness campaigns, community meetings, and discussions on emotional responsibility and personal safety became more common. Mia's survival became a symbol of resilience, courage, and the power of intelligence in overcoming extreme adversity. The chapter closes with Mia standing atop a hill overlooking the town at sunrise. The golden light bathed the streets below, and a sense of hope filled her heart. She had survived, reclaimed her freedom, and learned that true strength lay not in controlling others, but in reclaiming oneself after trauma. ST number 238 leaves a lasting lesson. Obsession and jealousy may threaten lives, but courage, planning, and determination can restore safety, justice, and hope. The forest trails of Pinewood, once a backdrop for childhood adventures, now stand as a testament to resilience and the enduring human spirit.